It's okay. This is Carol. I'm leaving my video off. I'm hoping I won't break up as much.
Okay.
So let us take a moment and take a deep breath in and out. Let us attend to the spark of divine within us, the divine intention for the good around us. Here we are, a group of women who dream about a time when, through women's leadership and other leadership, found a way to be kinder to our planet. We dream of a time when reproductive rights and health are available to all. We dream of a time when immigration isn't a problem, when people can come to another country or not come to another country because in their own countries things are good. And we dream of a time when domestic violence is simply an unpleasant memory that some people talk about, but doesn't really happen. We dream about those things passionately and hope for a future in which those things come true. Divine within, divine around us. Help us to admit that our dreams probably won't come true, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't work on them. Let us support each other. Let us support organizations like this one that help make dreams and hopes and goals into realities. So be it. Amen.
Thank you, Carol. Yeah, and thank you, Jofi, for posting the agenda. I know mornings are not my favorite time of day, so getting my brain going here. We have the approval of the 2020 annual meeting minutes before we get into our presentation of reports. Do we?
So this is Jerry. I would call for adoption of the minutes of the 2020 annual meeting unless there are objections. So maybe use your raise hand feature if you've got an objection or a correction. So hearing none, the minutes are approved.
All righty, thank you so much, Jerry. Okay, I'm going to go into my report. Over the last year, despite the fallout of the COVID-19 pandemic, the International Women's Convocation has had a very fruitful year. The organization has grown its capacity, sparked new connections, perspectives, and engagements, and increased its impact around the world. Last summer, we inaugurated a visually appealing, user-friendly website redesigned to offer a clear message about who we are and what we do, providing useful, transparent, and up-to-date information about our various programs, advocacy, and resources. We celebrated the 10th anniversary of our organization in 2020, which inspired us to prepare for the next phase of a well-established organization. A newly constituted development committee, led by Tina Husing, created an ambitious budget plan for the next 5 years, which would grow IWC from its former budget of under $50,000 into a more impactful organization with an annual budget of $100,000 plus. with goals allocated for grants, fundraising, membership, and events. So far this year, we are on target with most of our budget goals. Realizing the changing needs of the organization since its inception in 2010, the Bylaws Committee, under the leadership of Treasurer Jerry Kennedy, created a new set of bylaws. The new bylaws were adopted by the IWC Board of Directors at its monthly meeting on April 12, 2021. Other committees have been created and are meeting regularly, including the Commission on the Status of Women, chaired by Reverend Carol Houston, Leadership and Volunteer Recruitment, co-chaired by Reverend Carol Houston and Karen Korch, myself, Outreach, chaired by Julie Steinbach, as well as Programs, co-chaired by myself and Peg Swing. Honoring IWC's founding president, Barbara Crest Beach, we have established a legacy giving program. Planned giving allows passionate donors like you to create a legacy that reflects your values. Please visit our website to learn how you can make a legacy gift or a charitable donation from your retirement account. Legacy Giving Program Coordinator Nancy Granowski will be delighted to assist you with any questions or concerns. Thanks to the enthusiastic work of our membership task force, we inaugurated a new membership program at the beginning of this year. Prospective members are asked to complete a simple membership form online and contribute to support the purposes of the organization, either by making a financial contribution of their own choosing as an ally, advocate, or change maker, or by agreeing to assist us in a volunteer capacity. If you are not yet a member, please consult our membership policy online and consider joining our IWC family. Genya Peterson, our membership coordinator, is ready to assist you. So during this year, we've been sparking new connections and engagements. Let's see. Last summer, we inaugurated a visually appealing, user-friendly website redesigned to offer a clear message about who we are and what we do. Oh. Is this? We have twice a month Tuesday gatherings with meaningful opportunities to connect with other UU women around the world, share feelings, thoughts, deepen friendships, and support one another. We have started our very first project in the US, funded in part by the Fund for Unitarian Universalist Social Responsibility, focusing on asylum-seeking women and their children in the US. This new direction offers the opportunity to engage in immigration justice work, directly assisting women and their children as they navigate the arduous asylum-seeking process, as well as raising awareness and mobilizing our network to advocate for the specific needs of immigrant women. This year, we have joined the Women's Funding Network, the largest philanthropic network in the world devoted to improving the lives of women and girls. By joining WFN, IWC has become part of a collaborative global network, providing resources, tools, training, and strategies to build momentum and create lasting social change. We thank Deborah Pritchard, our liaison with the WFN, for her commitment to this important work. We are proud of our accomplishments, but cannot do this work without you. IWC relies on volunteers to carry out its mission. The more people we involve, the stronger we will be. If you are passionate about women's empowerment around the world and are looking for an opportunity to serve while making a global difference, please check out volunteer opportunities on our website and join our team of dedicated volunteering. It takes a community to make a difference.
Thank you, Karen. And I will be taking over with my report. Just Just before I start my report, I would ask every participant to put their names and where they're joining us from in the chat box. I know we did that also for the first part for the annual gathering, but since we started the annual meeting, it would be wonderful to have that as well, because some of you have left the meeting and others have joined us. So please put your name and where you're joining us from, calling in from in the chat box. Thank you. And I will share my screen for my report. Just one second. And I'm going to try to make it. Just one second. View in a full screen mode. Okay. Okay. So I will be in my executive director's report. Just one second. Okay. So in my executive director's report, I will be talking about IWC's impact around the world. Inaugurated during the March 2020 lockdowns, the impact around the world in terms of programs, projects, videos, and resources, advocacy at the United Nations. So inaugurated during the March 2020 lockdowns, our global UU women's gatherings continue, providing connection and comfort during times of uncertainty, distress, and isolation, as well as inspiration to build on each other's resilience. The essence of these online meetings has been captured in a haiku by one of the attendees. The women, they zoomed across borders, oceans, land, to renew, help, love. Over 100 women from Africa, Uganda and Kenya, Asia and the Pacific, Australia, India, Japan, and the Philippines, Europe, from Denmark, France, Germany, the Netherlands, Norway, and Romania, Europe, North and South America, Bolivia, Canada, and the US have experienced invaluable gifts of connection which continue to blossom. The gatherings take place the second and fourth Tuesday of each month. If you are not already participating in these gatherings, please join us. Let us widen the circle of connection and support. This year, IWC's offering at the UUA Virtual General Assembly focuses on healing from trauma in a COVID-19 world. If you are attending this year's virtual UUA GA, June 23rd to the 27th, please watch IWC's on-demand program on healing from trauma across cultures. An international roundtable of UU women leaders from around the world discusses losses and traumas generated by the pandemic, offering coping and healing strategies for individuals and communities alike. Funds made available by members, friends, and grant-giving agencies enabled us to do the following projects. In November 2020, IWC raised funds to implement a COVID relief program in the Khasi Hills in partnership with Senkinté, the women's wing of UUNEI, the Unitarian Union of Northeast India. The project aims to provide COVID-19 awareness programs, stimulate behavioral change towards stigma and discrimination of infected individuals, as well as address mental health impacts of the pandemic. Awareness programs also include community education and mobilization to prevent teenage pregnancies and early marriages during the health crisis. On the 8th of January, 2021, 31 people, mostly community leaders, teachers, and health workers, participated in the first awareness program at Nong Kriem Nong Tem Mai. Following the training at the UNEI leadership level, these district task forces were formed to continue the workshops at the district level. The team will proceed as soon as the strict lockdowns and restrictions currently in place have been lifted. In early spring of 2021, we focused on raising funds to provide laptops for vulnerable girls in Transylvania in partnership with Gondviselés, the Providence charity organization of the Hungarian Unitarian Church. The COVID-19 pandemic has caused the largest mass disruption of education in modern history, making remote learning essential to children's education. A digital device in a COVID-19 world is a critical lifeline to education, ensuring a pathway to opportunity that many marginalized girls in Transylvania are missing out on. The girls to receive the laptops have been selected by the Providence charity organization. In December of 2020, IWC received a $15,000 grant from the UU funding program to build the resilience and capacities of asylum-seeking women and their children being held in US detention centers by providing comprehensive assistance and facilitating access to the legal asylum process. Our original project partner has withdrawn, but we are in the process of implementing the project in collaboration with a new partner organization. This year, to date, we have applied to 2 grant-giving agencies and are awaiting notification. One project proposal submitted to the UU funding program focuses on continuing our collaborative work with the UU Women's Association of the Philippines. The other, submitted to a private foundation, addresses adolescent sexual and reproductive health and rights around Mumias, Western Kenya, in partnership with Acacia in Kenya. Global lockdowns triggered by the COVID-19 pandemic created an environment that increased the incidence and severity of violence against women and girls. Honoring the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women and Girls, on the 25th of November 2020, IWC hosted a webinar in collaboration with the Senkinte Women's Wing of the Unitarian Union of Northeast India, addressing the global upsurge of gender-based violence. The video can be viewed on our YouTube channel. Our yearly International Women's Day resources offer a diverse array of sermon ideas and topics, prayers and meditations, words for chalice lighting and extinguishing, as well as video and written testimonials from our partners, beneficiaries, and supporters worldwide. This day celebrates the ordinary and the extraordinary women and girls who have changed and are continuing to change history, calling for action to accelerate gender parity. So please mark your calendars for March the 8th, 2022, and plan to involve your congregation in celebration and action. Inspired by IWC's global UU women's gatherings, UNOS, the Unitarian Women's Association of Romania, held 2 virtual international services hosted by IWC in October 2020 and in January of 2021. The 2 videos that are available on our YouTube channel are a wonderful testimony to the strong ongoing collaboration between IWC and UNOS. As an organization in special consultative status with the UN Economic and Social Council, IWC was represented at the 65th UN Commission on the Status of Women, or CSW 65, taking place from the 15th to the 26th of March, 2021. The 15 IWC delegates listened, shared stories, and learn together with others from around the globe what needs to be done to make this world more gender equal. IWC hosted 3 parallel events at the CSW 65 Civil Society Forum, co-sponsored by the UUA office at the United Nations, which are available on our YouTube channel. A special CSW 65 report presenting the experiences of IWC representatives at the 2-week event can be accessed and or downloaded from our website. Members of the IWC's Commission on the Status of Women Committee also participated in other virtual UN events, such as the Generation Equality Forum in Mexico City from the 29th to the 31st of March 2021, and are preparing to attend the follow-up forum in Paris, taking place from the 30th of June to the 2nd of July. The COVID-19 crisis has exposed and exacerbated gender inequalities all over the globe. With you by our side, our work on behalf of women and girls, now even more important and urgent than ever, continues. And in closing my report, I wanted to thank the enthusiasm, the dedication, and the leadership of everyone who has amplified IWC's vision for a just, caring, and equal world this past year. Whether as a board or a committee member, a CSW 65 participant, donor, or a specific program or event coordinator. Thank you.
So I will give the treasurer's report. Are we ready? Yes, Jofi?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're ready.
We're ready.
Okay.
Jerry.
So I would like to reiterate what Jofi just said, which is to say thank you to everyone who's been a donor, a member, a supporter, because without you, we wouldn't exist, and we would not be able to continue all the good work that we've been that we've produced over the past years. We had a lot of monetary type concerns about a drop in income during the COVID times, but our supporters have really come through. And as Karen mentioned, we are at or exceeding a lot of our budget goals on almost all of our budget line items. During each year, we have 2 major fundraisers that support the organization itself. The first, as Jofi mentioned, is the International Women's Day initiative, which brings funds mainly through the Share the Plate collections and offerings at UU churches. And this year we received over $9,000 from 14 different churches. One minister spoke in honor of International Women's Day at various churches and offered her honoraria to the good work, and those churches also donated. Thank you to everyone who made this year's International Women's Day outreach a success. And if you'd like more information about how your church can participate next year, let us know, because we do provide a wonderful package of materials. Our other major fundraiser is the year-end campaign, and most denominations are received in the following year. So in response to our 2020 campaign, we've received so far 28 checks in January and February of 2021, a little bit over $2,500, and we anticipate more toward the end of this year in response to our 2021 mailing. In February of this year is when we launched our new membership program. So thanks to everyone who's become a formal member so far. We have currently 80 members from 12 different countries, including 6 change makers. That's a special membership circle designed to honor those who provide major support to IWC. And our members have generously contributed over $11,000, which is great for a program that was just launched a few months ago. And Guinea Peterson, who's our membership coordinator, is doing a super job. You can check the website if you're not already a member and you would like to become one. So another new venture for us is the Legacy Giving Program. And we do hope that some of you will consider naming IWC in your trust, your will, or your life insurance to provide a specific amount or a percentage of whatever those funds provide. And also for those of us who are in the United States and are required to take what's called a required minimum distribution of our retirement funds, RMD, you can make a direct donation from those funds to IWC, and that will reduce some of your taxes on those draws. And we've also, as another part of that, we've made necessary arrangements to be able to accept the donation of direct stocks. So our Legacy Giving Coordinator, Nancy Granofsky, can assist you if you have any questions about how to accomplish any of that. I'd also like to call on all of you for a little bit of help. Most of our funding for the various projects that we support throughout the world comes from various grants. And currently, our main grant givers have been UU based or through Faithify. And we would like to expand that opportunity for grants to other organizations. And so if you are aware of an organization or would like to help us do research, please get in touch with me or with Jofi to help find and expand our possibilities for grants. One of our issues is that a lot of our grants are relatively small in comparison. You know, there's big organizations that will give hundreds of thousands of dollars in a grant. Well, we don't really need that because most of our projects are on a smaller local scale, but have big results. And so if you'd like to help with that, we would really appreciate it. And one of my other goals as treasurer is to retain the services of a professional bookkeeper who is familiar with nonprofits. As we grow the organization, which as mentioned is our goal, it's increasingly important that the duties of the organization's treasurer become more oversight than the actual bookkeeping, day-to-day bookkeeping. So let me know if you can recommend anyone. So thank you everyone for all of your loyal support.
All righty. I think we are moving on to the nominations, and Reverend Carol Houston will give us a report of the nominating committee.
Okay. Yes. As indicated before, the bylaws of this organization were changed in the spring. The effect on elections is this. This annual meeting will no longer elect president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer. Those roles will be elected within the board from among the board members. The nominating committee will be responsible for making sure that there are people with proper portfolios in place in the board for those roles, but the actual election will take place within the board. But what the annual meeting does need to do every year is to elect 3 members to our board of 9, and elect in each year we will be electing one member for the nominating committee to a 2-year term. This year are starting the elected nominating committee, and so we will be electing 2 people to the nominating committee. So that is what we are doing today. We have a board of 9. If you're on the board right now, would you please unmute yourself and just say hello so that we know who you are and where you are?
Hello.
Hi.
Say your name. Say your name as
Pei.
well. So yeah. Okay.
I'm Karen Korch from Illinois.
I'm Beth O'Connell in Paris, France.
Ziva from India.
Aday Krabah from Bernie, Texas.
Jerry Kennedy from Seattle, Washington.
Isinoj from Transylvania.
Yeah, I think Carol Sissel is also a member of the board. I believe she's not here. I don't know who else might be missing. It's a good, solid board of 9. And the nominations for the board this year are these. For a second term, and for a second 3-year term, Karen Core. And new to the board for a first 3-year term is Cortez Fonseca. And Roby, you are here. Can you unmute and say hello to us, please?
Carol, I just want to tell you that you were really breaking.
Possibly not. I know here there are connection problems from the Philippines, just as there are connection problems from New York City, I think, on at times. But Roby Jean is here, emanating her for election to the. I'm sorry, I don't know what else to do. I've got my video off. The 3 nominees. All right, can I? Does someone else want to repeat the nominees?
Carol, it's Beth O'Connell. Shall I say the nominees?
Sophie, would you like to do that?
First of all, do we? Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Go ahead, Beth.
Okay. So we have 3 nominees for the board: Robbie Jean Cortez Fonseca, who is from the Philippines, joining us for the first time. Young woman joining us, wants to join us for the first time, representing the Philippines, where we have a major project. Jerry Kennedy, who has been our treasurer, is nominated for a second 3-year term, and Karen Korch, who has been president, has been nominated for a second 3-year term. So those are the 3 nominees for the board this year.
Thanks, Beth.
And for nominating committee, we should also the nominating committee. Beth, would you mention those 2?
Okay.
You know, maybe we should vote for the board members first. So I would like to make a motion. And I move to elect the 3 nominees as a slate.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Before we do that, are there any nominations from the floor? We haven't said that. Okay, not hearing any nomination for the from the floor. Okay, we have the nominations of the slate as presented, and Marcia? Marcia?
I think-
I intended to vote for the slate, but I wasn't sure how to do it. That's why I raised my hand.
Okay, well, we're going to vote in a minute, okay? Okay, so now we need someone to second the nomination of the three to the board. Anne Greenwood? Thank you. Okay, Anne, thank you. Okay. All right, everybody ready? Raise your hand if you are in favor of electing the nominees.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
I just lost everyone just now. I got back.
Okay, we're electing the
Yes,
three
yes.
to the board, Algiva.
Yes, I agree.
Okay, okay. All right, any objections? Hands down, everybody, hands down. If you voted in favor of the board, put your hand down. Jerry, Karen, put your hands down. Marcia, put your hand, okay. Any objections? Okay. Any abstentions? Okay. The motion has passed. We have 3 board members. Thank you. Okay. Carol, do you want to try to come in now? Carol Houston, do you want to come in now?
I think you could,
Want me to go? Okay. All
sure,
right.
go ahead.
Okay, so now, yeah, Carol's still having communication problem. So, Jofi, could you put up the nominees for the nominating committee? Carol, Carol is still breaking up. Try unmuting yourself. Okay, now try it again. Carol, you want to try it again? No. Okay. All right. So the 2 nominees for the
We nominating committee, visual up.
yes, it's up now.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm trying.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
trying.
go ahead.
Yeah, correct.
All right. The 2 nominees are Reverend Dr. Natalie Fenimore from the U.S. She's the Minister for the Lifespan Religious Education at the Unitarian Universalist Congregation in Shelter Rock in New York. And the other nominee is Julie Steinbeck from California. And Julie has been the chair of our outreach committee also. So these are 2 nominees for the nominating committee. Okay, do I have a motion?
This is Jerry Kennedy. I move to elect the 2 nominating committee women.
Okay.
I second, this is Karen Korch, I second that motion.
Okay, any nominations from the floor? I see any. Okay. Okay, so let's get ready to vote now. If you're in favor of our 2 nominees for the nominating committee, raise your hand. Okay. Okay, thank you. Hands down. Anyone opposed? Anyone opposed? No?
No.
No? Okay. Yes, you're opposed? No? Okay, the hands are down. The technology. Okay, any abstentions? Okay, the motion passed. We have 2 members of our nominating committee. Thank you. Thank you all.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Beth. You did a great job. Good to have somebody come in and punt when we have technical difficulties. Okay, so we have elected our slate. Moving on to announcements, I would like to thank Reverend Ade Krabah so much for her service on the board. She served as president and a board member at large, and she has done a lot to help us get ourselves really going and raise our visibility. And we really appreciate her time of service, and we wish her great success and joy with her new adventures. I know she does a lot with Rotary International, and she'll be focusing on that, I think. So we wish you great joy in your future, and we hope you stay connected to us today. And I open the floor to any other member comments or announcements.
I have one that Jofi asked me to make, and that is regarding our future gathering events sponsored by IWC. But first, I want to also comment on the GA workshop that Jofi mentioned earlier. That's already available on demand for those who are registered for GA. And I'm suggesting that anyone who is registered for GA might, connect with others, because it's another way for us to comment to each other at GA. I know several of you here are already registered. But the other on-demand webinar I saw last night that is of relevance to us is the one you use as Filipinos, as you use, that Tet Gallardo put together. And our new board member, Roby Jean, is actually lights the chalice in it. So it's worth us supporting and connecting with that webinar. The other 2 events to look forward to in the future are the Kenya gathering. As some of you know, we had originally scheduled to have this gathering in Western Kenya, hosted by Acacia in Kenya, this coming October, around the time of the International Day of the Girl, October 10th. And of course, with COVID, that had to be pushed back. We're hoping it might be possible in October 2022, but all bets are off. But there is a committee that has started working on that and is in suspension now until we are more clear. And then the other thing is that the Budapest women are working on another major IWC convo, the 4th convo, hopefully in 2024. So those are international events you can look forward to. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. I also wanted to give a warm welcome to Roby Jean. I know she's very new to most of you. So I'd like for you all to be able to offer her a welcome. And yeah, so we're really excited to have Roby Jean with us and looking forward to her service on the board. And also thank you so much to Jofi, who our executive director, who keeps us going through thick and thin and keeps me on the ball for sure. So we could not do all of this without her. So thank you so much, Jofi.
Are there any more announcements?
I hope we covered everything. So I think we are ready to move on to our benediction.
Okay. Well, we extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth and the fire commitment that burns in our hearts. A glorious spark dwells within each of our hearts. Go forth, let its light of reason be a guide in your decisions. Go forth and bring a ray of hope to the hopeless. Go forth and fan the flames of passion to help heal the faint of heart. Go forth and spread the warm glow of love, pushing back the darkness. Go forth and share your glorious light with the world. Amen. May it be so.
Thank you so much, Ade. And of course, before we go, thoughts pop in and out of my head. I was trying to think, are there more announcements? I did want to acknowledge Barbara Beach, our founder, who is present today. So for those of you who don't know who she is, maybe she can say hi to everybody. Can you unmute, Barbara, and say hi to everybody? You have to unmute. Let me see.
I've asked her to unmute.
Yeah,
Okay.
there we go.
Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here, to be guided by each and every one of you. I'm so sorry for my absences, many absences this year. I've been struggling with some medical issues, and I think hope is on the way, and I celebrate that, and I celebrate each of you who make such a difference in the lives of women and girls and all of us working together as a community. I will never forget one quick comment that in our convocation in Transylvania, I quoted James Luther Adams, who said that God is a community forming power. So it is with us, and so it is with all of us and for all of us. And I thank you all.
Thanks, Barbara. It's so good to see you. I'm so glad you could make it.
From the secretary's desk, although I'm not able to do so much of work here, most of the work is done by Jofi and the rest of us. I just want to thank each one of us for making this meeting a grand success. Thank you so much. We count in your support.
Thank you. Thank you, Aljiva. Yes. Yes, Jofi keeps us all going. She's the tie that binds. So if we have no further announcements, we can adjourn. So it's been great seeing you all. And so if somebody would like to motion to adjourn.
I so move.
Thank you, Julie. Second. Barbara seconds. So we have a motion and a second. So we are officially adjourned.